Ready to rock right here. I'm going to get you set up. While y'all are coming in, we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to make some phone calls. Good cat. Stay right there. Good dogs. We're already blowing up because everybody knows what's going to happen. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are going to call the people who have done this. Let me just hide this. We've got a new website coming out, so let me just cover up the login information of the new website, guys. This is the list of discrepancies on my vehicle. We're going to talk about what's been stolen and what was destroyed, and then we're going to call the police officer who was in charge of the investigation, and we're going to ask why she didn't get the warrant signed. Why isn't the warrant filled out and signed? So we're going to find out what happened with that. Hopefully we'll get some good answers. And then we'll talk to the who owned who was managing the tow truck yard, the facility. So that's our plan for today. I'll let you all come into the chat. Get ready to rock. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let me just go get one more tripod and a phone so we can make these calls, and we're going to do it. All right, we're going to let these people know how we feel. How are you? Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming in. I will be right back. All right, I want to go and get one more thing so we can do this a little bit easier. We were trying to do this for the first time in here, and I want to be sure that I can read your chats too. Thank you, guys. I'm doing well. I see your chats. I'm doing real well. I'm pretty frustrated. All right, I want to come to you guys straight, and what I'm going to do today, maybe I'll do this first, and then you guys can be thinking about what I'm telling you. And then we're going to make a couple of phone calls, and then I want to read chat. Okay, and I want to talk to you guys about what you think is going on and what we can do about it in our country, okay? Can you see this okay behind me? All right, so let's talk about the damage that was done to my vehicle when it was towed off the street, and let's talk about how that came to happen. And then I need to get your advice on how to best respond to this, because I'm pretty frustrated, pretty upset about what's happened. I'm very upset. I mean, this is a lot of discrepancies. This is a long list. And my truck right now, it's at a body shop. It's at the auto body. And they're telling me it's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to fix everything. In addition to what was damaged on the vehicle exterior and the interior, we had a couple of items that were stolen, including stereo equipment that was stolen. So we're going to talk about that. I want my amp back for my stereo system so I can run my sub, okay? You guys stole my amp to my stereo, you nasty, nasty little creatures. We're going to talk about it. I'm pretty upset. Here's the list of discrepancies to the beast. According to the auto body shop, here's what we're looking at, okay? Broken driver's side mirror needs to be replaced, and glass. The glass is completely missing. So it's like they just took the glass away. The mirror has scuff marks on it, and it has grease all over it. There are more than 8 grease marks, at least 8 grease marks, where some object collided with the driver's side of the truck. So a large object collided with the driver's side, leaving at least 8 grease marks on it, and at least 6 of those grease marks are associated with dents, body damage on the driver's side. So they have to pull at least 6 dents, one of which is a large vertical dent. That they either put white out or some kind of paint on to try to cover up, but the whole freaking thing is dented in. So very upsetting. And if they tried to cover it up and didn't tell anyone, that's also very upsetting. We're going to have a little chat with them because it should all be on video, right? If it's like evidence, I'll bet they had it on video, right? We'll see if they lost the videos. Okay. Bent running boards on the driver's side. Those are metal running boards, and they're bent up in such a way that when they hit them with a sledgehammer, that wouldn't even it out, they said. So I've got to get new running boards for the driver's side. Same thing with the passenger side. It's all ripped up. The metal is completely bent in such a way that when they hit it with a sledgehammer, the metal is so strong they can't get it to go back. So something strong bent all these running boards. And what the auto body says is if this is my truck like this, they took a big old forklift and picked it up like this, and then the truck slid back, and that's why there's all the damage along here on the side, on the driver's side, and then they looked under it. for any bad stuff. But they took a giant forklift, shoved it under. They did that. This is, where the driver sits, like up here. This part, boom, slammed into the forklift, and then they lift up the truck, like a tow motor or a forklift is what the damage appears to be from, according to the people who run the shop. So, all right. Bent wheel guard on the driver's side. A big piece of metal protecting the wheel is completely folded up and bent. There are also two separate dents on the passenger side, and that could have been from where they set the thing down. Maybe it just slammed into something on the other side. Bent running board on the passenger side. We mentioned that, okay? The evidence tape that's all over the door. So trying to get it off using a hairdryer to heat it up, and then a plastic scraping tool. And they tried to just peel it. They weren't able to get it that way. A metal tool they think is going to rip the paint, but that's already ripped off some of the paint as well. So there's paint damage from where they hit it with that forklift or that other vehicle to lift it. There's also paint damage from, whatever it hit into. And then there's paint damage from this evidence tape as well, which is super frustrating all the way around the truck. Super frustrating. Anyway, on the inside of the vehicle, there's a cracked dashboard. The dashboard was brand new. I think I even took you visionaries when I was going around to the different junkyards trying to find a dashboard. I did a live stream. It was like, I've been to so many junkyards. This is just not fun because all these dashboards crack. So I had to order a new one. And I ordered one online and I had it sent and I just put it in. And right after I put it in, they cracked it. They ripped it all out and they had left things down there in my engine, just trash, things that were about the vehicle. So cracked dashboard. The overhead assembly, like where your lights go, where you push the lights in your little sunglasses holder, pops out. That's all ripped out of the truck and it doesn't pop back in. It just sits in there crooked. So that's broken as well. There's some stains now on the back of the upholstery, like somebody had boots on and they were climbing around inside the truck. The inside of the truck smells like a wet dog, like a canine. Like they put a wet dog in the rain in there, and that's what it smells like now, which is also not appreciated. I don't have a dog. I don't even have a dog. Why would it smell like that? I want that dog's badge number still. I want to know which dog did the false indication. And frankly, it might be time for that dog to kind of move on to greener pastures, right? For that badge to get retired. Just like Elisa Moore. Detective Moore, we want your badge. We want you to quit. And we'll talk more about that later because you're a filthy, corrupt police officer. Okay. Smell of canine in the vehicle. The interior was ransacked. I showed you guys the other day, and I also took videos of everything. But they took food items and just opened them and dumped them out. Threw bagels and donuts and things like that, just threw out the vehicle. Instead of just like leaving them or like dumping them out on a tray, looking and then throwing them away, they decided instead they would just throw it all over the vehicle. They took my hygiene bag with my toothbrush and my nail clippers and all that, and my razor, and just dumped all that crap, all the Q-tips, dumped all that crap everywhere. There's no need for that. There's no need to ransack somebody's vehicle. There's no need to damage somebody's vehicle. And I want answers. I want to know how you get off in America doing things like this. And when I say you, the two people that I'm talking about are Detective Elisa Moore and her badge number if you ever want to file a complaint with DC Metro. And I'll give you that phone number here in a minute. But if you ever want to file a complaint with me, it's Detective Elisa Moore, ELISAMOORE, and her badge number is D2-1604. And she's associated with the Metropolitan Police Department. And then over here it says Homeland Security Bureau, and it says Office of Intelligence. And I was really surprised that it said intelligence because she's a dumb bitch for messing with me. Sorry, pardon my language. I'll clean it up now. But I can't believe you would treat a citizen this way. I can't believe you would try to plant things in the vehicle or tear apart the vehicle and find nothing. I can't believe you wouldn't complete the search warrant. You didn't even do your paperwork right. I can't believe you would lie. I can't believe you would do this to a citizen. It's horrible. How can you put that uniform on and look in the mirror? Excuse me. You make me sick. All right. The other person is Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey, and I'll give you both of their phone numbers in case you want to call them later, but let me finish up with my discrepancy list, okay? Stains of the upholstery, smells like a canine, the interior was ransacked. My blower motor doesn't function, or somehow the air coming through the vents. Doesn't come through the vents anymore. Used to come through the vents, doesn't come through the vents now. So that's got to get fixed somehow. All the wiring under the hood is just everywhere. All the wiring, it looks like, was traced or pulled or disconnected or reconnected, but all the wiring under the hood is jacked up, and they have to go back through that and, quote, un-F it. They said they need to un-F the wiring. There's also a broken rear window locking mechanism. So where the rear window slides in the truck, that locking mechanism that holds it in place is busted, just sitting there loosely broken off. Either they hit that when they were in there searching, or they tried to open it and they were too rough with it, but they've broken the locking mechanism. The items that were stolen, get this, X-ray vision, X-ray vinyl decals for my windows. They stole my X-ray vinyl window decals, and they stole my amp, like a really nice amp that goes to a huge subwoofer, because Bobby liked that music. Corporal Porter, who owned the truck, the deceased Marine, he liked his music loud, just like Aunt Shelley. They liked the music loud, and so he had a really nice aftermarket sound system in there. They've taken the amp, and get this, it's not just that they stole it. They almost killed me in so doing. They took the power lines out of the amp, and they just left them. They didn't tape over them. They didn't cap them, nothing. And there's a lot of metal under that seat, like holding the seat to the car. So there's metal. All those wires had to do was touch the metal, complete a circuit, right? They start to get hot. A fire could start. I could have burned up and died because they stole my amp and they left those hot wires, which are wired to the battery, just laying there under the seat with all that shit around them. Could have caught fire very easily. There were lots of little pieces of paper, receipts thrown everywhere, pieces of paper thrown everywhere, all my registration and insurance information thrown everywhere. They ransacked all of my belongings. And they could have killed me because they left that wire unwrapped under the seat. Does that make sense to you? The amp, the music goes right from the stereo where you push the buttons to the amp, and then from the amp to the big subwoofers and the speakers, and that's what puts out music. So the speaker system and the amp system are gone. They're gone. Somebody just took them. But not only were they a thief, they were a potential murderer. They could have killed me because those wires were left open, and they were left on top of really fine material, like on the carpet, on the bottom and on the seats. They would catch fire very easily. So thank God, literally, thank you, God, that I'm not dead because of what DC Metro did on purpose or by accident. On purpose or by accident, they did all these things, right? These things were not real or in my reality at all. They towed my truck, then I got it back in a shady-ass woods, and all this stuff was wrong with it. So I think we should just call them. You know what I mean? I think we should just call them in good faith and be like, hey, not for nothing. You had my vehicle for a while. We won't talk about how you got it. It was illegal, but we won't talk about how you illegally violated my Fourth Amendment rights, which protect me against illegal search and seizure. Okay? You did that. And then you really jacked up my stuff, causing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in damage, and you almost killed me. Right? Right? Detective Moore, is that what you did? You ought to look in the mirror for a long time. I hope you're watching Detective Moore. And I hope you look in the mirror for a long time, because you are the worst of the worst in America. You're the one who tries to look like a helper. You come at us and sorry, Rip, and it's a good cat. You come at us and you try to help us, right? You say that you're trying to help us, but then you use your power to hurt us, and I don't know, people did that to your ancestors. I don't know why you would want to do it to us. Maybe you're still pissed about that. Maybe it's a race thing. Maybe they were racist, and that's why they tore apart my truck, right? Maybe they threw everything everywhere because they think I'm some bad person or whatever, because I'm waving a flag and I'm a Marine veteran and I do community service and I work for a nonprofit. Maybe they thought I was a bad guy because of that. Well, regardless of why they thought what, they destroyed my stuff and they're going to pay for it. So I'm going to call her first, but I do want to make sure you guys have her phone number. So I'm going to give you her phone number in case you want to call her too, and let her know that she's not doing a very good job taking care of American citizens. In fact, her high levels of corruption have caused significant injury on one of the citizens. And I'm somebody who you guys have known, right? Hundreds of thousands of hours you've been watching me. You know me, right? You know how I roll. And you know that what happened to me was terrible, grossly inappropriate, and unacceptable. And so I really want to activate all of you visionaries. I want every single person out there to call Sergeant or Detective Moore with me. I want you to call her. All right, call her with me now. I'll call her first, and then I'll give you her phone number, okay? And you guys can call her after. But I got her cell phone number right here, so that should be fun, right? And we'll just ask her. We'll just say like, hey, what the heck? That's fair, right? What the heck? What happened here? That's what we'll do. All right, I don't really know how to use this phone. I'm borrowing one. No, we don't want to set up a new contact. You guys probably know how I feel, right? You get a new piece of technology and you're like, what? All right, 202. Let's call her. I'll put it on speaker for you guys, okay? See if we just can't get an answer. And y'all give me a chance to call, but then you can call her. Here's her phone number.
You've reached Detective Elisa Moore of the Metropolitan Police Department. Please leave a detailed message after the tone to include your name and phone number. I will return your call within 24 hours. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Thank you. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Detective Moore, this is X-Ray calling. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to call and talk to you. I'm talking with the auto body here, and I have a pretty long list of discrepancies. The vehicle was damaged on the interior and exterior when you had it in your possession, and some items were stolen from the vehicle. So I just wanted to contact you to see kind of what happened with that, what my next steps look like. I wanted to ask for a copy of the video. I'm sure that when you had my vehicle and you were searching it, I'm sure you have all that on video, so we can just see who stole the items and who destroyed the vehicle. And, you know, if you could just maybe tell me what my next are, I'd sure appreciate that, because not trying to be out of line or anything, but y'all did have my vehicle and you did damage it a whole lot, right? A lot of things are damaged and some things were stolen. And you're a police officer, so that should be a problem for you like it's a problem for me. And I hope to hear from you soon so we can try to resolve it. Thanks a lot. Okay. She didn't answer, probably because I was calling from a new number. But I think that makes that part of it clear. Now let's call. And her phone number, just so you know, is 202. This is Detective Elisa Moore, Homeland Security Bureau, Office of Intelligence, 202 270 1886. 1886. So 202 270 1886. Detective Elisa Moore. And she's the one who went and got a warrant for the vehicle. This is after they towed it. So she just told the judge, hey, we've got this vehicle in our possession. I have reason to think that there are firearms in there. I swear this before you, Judge. You know, I have an affidavit here that I'm submitting to you, Judge. And the judge went for it, right? Why wouldn't the judge go for it? Judge goes for it. Then she comes and searches my vehicle and doesn't find anything. And they never sign it. They never sign where it says executing officer, where it says, I swear that this is a true and detailed account of all property taken by me under the warrant. Nobody signed it. So they're not swearing that anything is true when they search this. I mean, they messed up the paperwork. All right, so the white shirt senior officer sergeant walks over and crouches under my vehicle and walks away. I have a friend who trains police dogs sitting behind tinted glass right next to him when he does this. Crouches under my vehicle twice, walks away. 5 minutes later, 30 police officers and a canine show up. The canine sits down and indicates they tow the truck off the street. Then they go and apply for this warrant. Only then. They did not have a warrant when they towed the truck off the street. And whatever that dog indicated on wasn't in there when they went through the truck. So that dog ought to get fired or, sent to retraining or something. But how can you trust that dog if the dog indicated positive? You went through it with humans and you found nothing. Like nothing. So give her a call and let her know that she's bad at her job, and so is her dog. 202-270-1886. She's also bad at paperwork, 10-4. And they stole from me. They stole my amp. All right? Stole my amp. Cool. Mr. Dorsey is the other guy. We're going to call him right now. He told me he was a civilian, but he had a badge, like an ID. His ID said evidence, and it said his name, but there was no picture on it. There was no seal. It didn't say DC or any like bureau or agency. It didn't say any of that on it, according to the witness who checked his ID. All right. And they gave us no paperwork when they gave us the truck back. Remember that. They would not give us any paperwork when we got the truck back, and you guys saw that. So let's call this bastard now and see what he has to say. So ask him what's going on at the lot that he told me he's in charge of. Let's find out. Then I'll give you his phone number. You can call him too. See if we can't get to the bottom of this, visionaries. I need your help. Hey, how are you, Mr. Dorsey? This is John X-Ray calling. My name is X-Ray. You guys had my white truck for an extended period of time, and you gave it back to my friend with the power of attorney in the woods.
Okay, that's not your name. That's not the name you gave me. You say your name is Mr. John Dobbins.
That's it. So
what did you say your name was this time?
I have a whole series of discrepancies related to the vehicle. And I'm just wondering what I should do about that and how the damage happened. There's also some items that have been stolen. So I need to find out, like.
So first of all, presenting with your proper name.
Yeah,
Dobbins,
my name is John Dobbins, and you know me as X-Ray.
That's you.
Okay. So you know who I am. You knew immediately, right? So let's not make it about that.
That's my point. So I don't know who you're trying to introduce me as yourself as. That's confusing. I only know you as John Dobbins.
Yeah, that's who I am. My name is John Dobbins. Okay. You know who I am? Are you still confused? Do you need to meet in person to talk?
No, I need to understand.
You still don't know my name? I've told you 4 times. You don't know my name yet?
You introduced yourself as somebody different.
As X-Ray.
So I want to make sure I understand it.
Because I'm X-Ray, and you know I'm X-Ray.
No, sir, I don't work for the police. Be very clear on that. I work for the police, but I am not the police.
Okay.
One last time, so you already had this conversation. I am not the police. I do not have arrest powers. I do not have a gun. I do not have a badge.
I don't care. You had my vehicle, right?
The objective side of the law.
You had my vehicle.
So I have no idea who X-Ray is.
Hi, I'm John Dobbins, and you had my vehicle, and you damaged it, and you stole things, and I want to know why.
Okay, well, you're making an accusation that has no basis to me.
You had my vehicle in your lot.
Your information to the Office of Police Complaints, and that would be who you file that through, sir.
You listen to me, you little bitch. You fucked up my truck, and you're going to pay for it. Who do you work for?
Okay, sir.
Who do you work for? Who do I sue?
Could you say that again, sir?
Who do you work for? Who do you work for, Dorsey? You've damaged my vehicle and you've stolen things. Who do you work for?
Sir.
Who do you work for, Dorsey?
I suggest you calm down now.
I'm calm. Who do you work for, boy?
Say that again.
You've stolen things from my truck and you've damaged my truck. I want to know who you are and who you work for.
Say the insult again.
Who do you work for?
Sir.
What's your name and badge number? What's your ID number? What company do you work for?
I don't have a badge. I don't have police arrest powers.
I don't care. Who do you work for?
Please forward any complaints you have to the Office of Police Complaints.
Who do you work for, little boy?
After you insulted me and called me evidence.
You're a coward. You damaged my vehicle and you stole things. Who do you work for?
I am an employee of Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department.
So you work for the police.
I work for the police as a civilian.
And a civilian what?
Sir, I would respectfully request that you forward all your complaints to the Office of Police Complaints. I cannot help you any further.
Who's your supervisor and what's their contact number?
You would need to forward all your complaints to the Office of Police Complaints, sir.
But I thought you said you weren't police. So now you're police. Do you have a video of my truck, of everything you did to my truck? Do you have a video?
Sir, I'm going to hang up the phone now because I have nothing further I can assist you with.
You're a little fucking pussy, and you're going to lose your badge and you're going to lose your job for what you did to me for no reason. You're a little nasty bitch. You're a terrible person for what you did, breaking the law. I want you to know that, Dorsey, when you look in the mirror, you're a coward. You stole from me. You stole my amp to my stereo system, among other things. And you damaged the exterior and interior of the vehicle. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Have a good day, sir.
I want to know who your supervisor is. What's their phone number? He hung up. All right, so Office of Police Complaints. His phone number, if you guys want to call him, he's fun. You should call him. 202-316-3220. You guys can definitely know who I am now. At first, I didn't say all that because I wanted to feel out the movement and like see what people were like. Now you guys pretty much, you knew who I was before. That's who I am. Whatever. I don't have anything to hide. He tried to play games. What a bitch. Dorsey's a bitch. If you want to call Dorsey, his phone number is 202-316-3220. I'm going to call him back. I'm not done with him. 202-316-3220. $202-316-3220. Dorsey. You ought to call him every day.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voice mailbox that has not been set up yet.
Coward. Dorsey's a pussy. You can hear it in his voice. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? I'm not police. What's your name? Dorsey's a pussy. He's a little bitch, seriously. Because his people destroyed my truck, and he knows it, and that's why he wouldn't talk. I said, do you have a video? And he said, I can't talk to you. They stole from me, and they damaged my stuff. I'm pissed, guys. I'm pissed. I'll call all these people. Now we're going to call Metropolitan Police Department of Complaints. 866-588-0569. You guys should call them, too. Let them know how you feel about that. I'm being calm. I'm sorry. I'm calm. But he's a bitch. Yes, ma'am. My name's John Dobbins, and I had my vehicle towed for an investigation. And I was able to get the vehicle back. They didn't find anything with the investigation. But I have a whole page of damages and stolen items from the vehicle. I've got the vehicle in an auto body. Yes, ma'am. It occurred in Washington, D.C.
Okay, our agency is not the correct place that you need to call for damages. You need to reach out to the Office of Risk Management and file a complaint with them.
The Office of Risk Management.
Risk Management. Let me give you their number. Hold on for 1 second.
No problem.
I will leave you there to do the claim online. But wait a minute, let me look for you real quick.
I appreciate your help.
No worries.
And I get that that's for the vehicle damages. What if I have an issue with employees of DC Metropolitan Police or officers? Is that something I could talk to you about?
So if you wanted to file a complaint against the officers for police misconduct, you can file a complaint with our office.
Absolutely.
However, we don't take complaints over the phone. You have to actually fill out a complaint form.
In person. Can you mail that to me if I'm not in the state or the district anymore? Because, as soon as I was...
I can mail it to you, or it's easier. If you have an email address, I can email you the link because it's easier to do it online because it comes directly to our office if you do it online.
Can I print it off your website?
Actually, if you wanted to... Wait a minute, give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I know you're doing something else, so I'm sorry I distracted you while you're...
Somebody else is trying to call while you're calling. Wait a minute. So for risk management, you have to file a claim online.
Online, okay.
I can, you also wanted to file a complaint against an MP officer, right? Did you want to do it online, or do you need a paper complaint form?
I can do that online. That's fine. And one's like an employee, a civilian employee, and one's a detective.
So we don't investigate MPD civilian employees.
Who does that? That's probably one of the most important things.
I'm not sure who investigates them. You would probably have to call to the station, but we only investigate MPD officers and DC Housing Authority officers.
MPD and Housing Authority only. Okay.
No, and DC Housing. MPD and DC Housing. So we can
This is the number the civilian gave me when I asked for a supervisor at the company he worked for.
I'm not sure.
All right, I got you.
To this number.
I got you.
Because we only investigate MPD officers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they gonna have to wait. So I'll send you. Let me get your email address, and I'll send you in that email. I'll send you the link for risk management to file a claim with them.
Great.
And then I'll also send you the link to file the complaint with our agency.
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
me get your first and last name and then your email address.
Yeah, my name's John, John Dobbins, Dobbins. And my email is convoy, CONVOY, XRAY @gmail.
Okay, so make sure I got that right. So convoy, CONVOY,
Uh-huh.
XRAY @gmail.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to send you that email, or you should get it in like the next 10 minutes. If you have any issues, just give us a call back. We'll be here until 5 o'clock.
Okay, great.
I'll include the information for risk management and for OPC.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
So none of this is her fault. So there's no reason to yell at that lady, right? It's not her fault. It's Mr. Dorsey. You don't even deserve the Mr. So it's Dorsey, and it's Detective Moore. Detective Moore. That's who we want to file the complaints about. There are probably some stations that we can call into as well, just anywhere in DC, and we can just express our frustration with Detective Moore and with Mr. Dorsey. So you see it right there. You can't even file a complaint against a DC police civilian on the DC police complaint line. And the guy wouldn't tell me his supervisor or anything like that. So how do you hold these people accountable? How do you even hold them accountable? Maybe that's the goal. I can't believe they stole my X-ray decals and my amp. And then that bitch wouldn't even talk on the phone. He got off the phone faster than Biden ran out of the White House when I yelled at him about Hunter. And seriously, if you can go down there and get Biden out of the freaking play place in the White House, drag him out of that bouncy castle, tell him to take some of that Ukraine money and give it to American charities, we'd all be happy with that. It's ridiculous that you think we don't see how corrupt our country is. You think we don't see the blatant corruption in front of us? People are losing their shit, and you're just like placating us, trying to keep us calm. Then you do something like this to my truck. I'll just say they're lucky that they're not patriots here. They're lucky that there's some patriots. They think, I just saw one comment that said they're untouchable. They think they're untouchable, right? No way. The visionaries are going to reach out and touch somebody in a peaceful and nonviolent way. I'm going to phone call this guy again. I'm going to call him from a different number every day, and he won't know what's going on. Come on, Dorsey. I want answers. Who fucked up my truck? Who do you work for? What's their phone number? Where are my decals? Where's my stereo amp?
I'm sorry, but the person you called.
He's just sending me the voicemail. What a coward. He won't even have a phone call. I don't know who you are, X-Ray. Then why did you steal my X-Ray decals? Why'd you steal my vinyl decals, bitch? Now his phone's just off. You think he's getting any of his work done? I'm not trying to harass the guy, but he caused me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage. And then he ran like a bitch and wouldn't even talk about it and be like, yeah, we messed your stuff up. So what, punk? What are you going to do about it? That's what he should say. What are you going to do about it? Kiss my ass. We messed it up. We ransacked it. Fuck you. If he said that, that'd be one thing. But he's like, well, I don't know your name. And it's like, well, you know what truck I'm talking about. You know, you meet everybody in the woods? Or was this a special thing, Dorsey? Is it a special thing? You know exactly who I am. Everybody knows. Every one of you knows. You probably have little listservs, police listservs where you send back and forth messages of, me in handcuffs or whatever. You try to make yourselves feel good about yourselves. You can all kiss my ass. Both cheeks, both lips, give it a kiss. Not going anywhere. Suing the fuck out of you, right? This is me calm. I'm sorry. Pardon my language, but if a couple of bad words are all that comes out of what they did to me and how I feel about that, everybody's safe and happy. That's a good thing. So what was done was a horrible imposition All right. Fourth Amendment violation where my property was stolen off the street. It was held for 10 days. They didn't even sign the search warrant stating what they found or didn't find, right? They ripped everything up. I don't know if I went over everything. I'll tell you one more time in case you weren't there. Broken mirror glass, completely missing. 8+ grease marks. Was hit by an object along the driver's side. 6 associated dent marks with the grease. And they think it was a forklift that came in to pick up the vehicle. And when the forklift, big old forklift, hit my truck, that's what caused the damage on the side and the damage underneath. You can see where forklift skids or something came up on the undercarriage. You can see it when you crawl under the truck. The mechanic was taking and sending me pictures, and he says it looks like a giant forklift picked up your truck, and that's what caused the damage. That's what he thinks happened. So broken mirror glass, 8 grease marks on the driver's side where it collided with some item, 6+ dents associated with those grease marks, bent running boards on the driver's side, and they're metal, bent wheel guard metal on the driver's side, bent wheel guard on the passenger side, 2 dents on the passenger side. There's evidence tape all down the doors, and it's peeling the paint off. They're having a really tough time trying to get it off without chipping or peeling the paint. So they caused a lot of damage to the exterior. To the interior, there's a cracked dashboard that was brand new. The overhead assembly has been torn out, and it won't go back in. There are no clips. The center console and the cup holder are completely broken off at the hinges. So where the hinges come in, this part is snapped, so it'll never reseat. It'll never work, and you can't even put it in and close it so it looks like a complete dashboard. They ripped it out. They just ripped it out. There's stains on the upholstery that weren't there and on the seats. There's a smell of a wet canine in the vehicle. The interior was ransacked, completely ransacked. Q-tips everywhere, food items dumped out of bags and opened and just thrown everywhere. It took me hours and hours to clean the vehicle. That's not like a respectful way to search a vehicle. I think if the judge looks at the YouTube videos, the videos that I took on my phone and the ones on YouTube of the damage on the inside and the outside, very clear picture. You're going to answer for it. You're going to lose your job there, Dorsey. Dorsey, you're a little bitch. You're going to lose your job. You're a coward. You're corrupt. You're horrible. Give me back my amp and my x-ray stickers. All right. On the inside, right, there's also a blower motor that no longer functions, and the wiring is all out of place under the hood. All the wiring was torn out from under the passenger and driver's side, and the wiring under the hood is all ripped up too. Broken rear window locking mechanism. The locking mechanism for the rear window of the truck is snapped off and doesn't close. The stolen items include 2 X-ray vision vinyl decals that were brought to me down in the mall to put on the windows of my truck, and my stereo amp, my very nice aftermarket stereo amp, and all the cords were just unplugged and left on the ground. It could have started a fire like this. It could have started a fire and killed me. They didn't even tape over the wire ends. They just pulled the wires out of the stereo, unplugged the audio wires, took the amp, and left the fucking wires laying under the seat on the carpet, which could have easily started a fire, which could have killed me while I was driving down the road. DC Metro Police did this, either on purpose or accidentally. Them or they're civilians. The guy won't give me his information, and I can't complain against him. So you think they're going to walk? Think they're going to walk on this, or do you think they're going to pursue it? Yeah, I'm going to pursue it, and I'm going to pay a lawyer a piece of whatever he wins, and he's going to tear you guys apart. You're going to lose your jobs. If you're close to retirement more, you ought to retire right now, because you're going to end up losing your pension, your retirement, right, your access to health care. You're going to lose that stuff. So you better go get those procedures done now. I know you're, at that time in your life where you're going through those changes and everything. So you better go and get your health care before you lose your health care plan when you lose your pension, because I'm going to sue the hell out of all of you guys. I'm going to use the legal system that you're supposed to be protecting and standing up for and augmenting, that you're raping more, Dorsey. You're destroying the legal system. We're going to come after your badges. We're going to come after your retirement. You're going to lose your job, okay? You're going to get investigated, all right? And I'm going to come in. You're going to get investigated. That's what we're going to do, okay? You want to make up things about warrants that aren't really filed to try to intimidate me? You want to steal my stuff? You want to destroy my vehicle? You want to try to take me out of the game? I'll be in D.C. tonight. I'll shoot a video, in fact. How about I come down? Why don't we meet? How about me and Detective Moore and Dorsey? How about we all have a beer together and just talk this out? You guys want to have a beer with me? A cup of black coffee, perhaps? You want to have some coffee? I didn't think so. Let me know. You've got my number. You know everything about me. You went through everything on my computer. You read through my diary, right? My little notes and things, right? You read through everything and you found out the songs I wrote. Did you guys know that I won the Director's Award at the Nashville International Song and Lyric Writing Competition? Did you read my lyrics? Did you think I was a bad guy when you read my lyrics? You fucking punks. You grossly violated my privacy and you destroyed my stuff after you stole it. You're going to be held accountable. You're going to be held accountable, and you know you're wrong. Dorsey knew he was wrong. That's why he wouldn't even open his mouth like a big kid and talk like a man. He's a little bitch. He's a little bitch who steals from people. DC Metro Police steals from people. So let's do another call. Let's try to call him one more time, see if he answers. Because the number he gave me to complain against him didn't work. It didn't work. That's why I'm calling him. I'm just trying to get accurate information. I'm not trying to harass him. I just want to know who I can call about him. That's all I want to know. You guys should call him too. It's 202-316-3220. 202-316-3220. He really wants to hear from you. Write it down. Put it on your fridge. Anytime you go by, just give him a call. Just give Dorsey a call. Let him know what a good guy he is. We could also try Detective Moore again. Maybe she's out of the toilet and wants to answer her phone this time. Let's see what they say. I want answers. I'm a good guy who was there in good faith, waving that American flag, and they fucked me hard. They destroyed my stuff, right? They stole and destroyed my personal belongings. They didn't find any weapons or explosives or drugs. So I wonder what that dog indicated on.
Please leave a detailed message after the tone to include your name and phone number. I will return your call within 24 hours. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Thank you. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Detective Moore, John Dobbins calling again. I tried calling Mr. Dorsey, who I guess is like a civilian department who's in charge of the tow yard. And, he told me that I needed to talk to, the police complaint division. And I called them and they said that they can't take complaints on civilians, on DC Metro Police Department, civilian employees. So I'm just trying to investigate to find out who I can talk to. Right about these issues. A lot of items were stolen in the truck. There's a lot of damage. I've got it at the shop right now, and it's more money than I've got. So I just need to figure out how this is going to get paid for, right? And I know you were kind of in charge of everything, but I think my issue is probably more with him and his shop, unless you were there. So I'm looking for a video of the truck at all times when it was on the lot. I'm looking for an inventory of everything that was in the truck. And I just want to know how I can file a complaint against Mr. Dorsey. And then I'm looking for information on whether he's a vendor or whether he works directly for DC Metro. My lawyer's just asking for all the information here. So, we want to do the right thing in good faith, and the right thing hasn't been done here. So now everybody's going to be held to account for what they've done, right? And some of that's your corruption as well. So just hope you look in the mirror real well tonight. Think about what kind of police officer you are and why you're working this job. Pieces of shit. Wasting my fucking time with these people. All right, sorry, we're still live. So hopefully we get some more information from the DC Metropolitan Police Department. But if it's anything like it's been in the last few weeks and days, they just won't tell me anything. Then they'll steal more of my shit, and then they'll damage that and try not to give it back to me. But it looks like they put a damn forklift or a tow motor or something under that vehicle, and when they lift it up, it bent. Here's a random number. Hello?
How you doing? Let's speak to Mr. Dobbins, please.
Yeah, speaking.
How you doing? This is Mr. Robert Sutton. I'm a manager with the DC Police Department Evidence Control Division. And Mr. Dorsey said that you wanted to voice a complaint in reference to your vehicle.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Sutton. I appreciate you calling me back. Yeah, I have. My truck's at the shop, and there's a lot of damage to it that wasn't there, and so I'm trying to figure out. And some items were stolen, and so I'm just trying to figure out if there's like a video of whenever anybody was in there, so we can just see who stole the items and we can get them back to me. And I also want to know like how to file a complaint, and I want to know who's going to pay for it and what the process works for you guys to pay the auto body.
No problem. Let me ask you this. When did you get your vehicle back from us? You know,
They didn't give me any paperwork. It was just a couple days ago, and the first time I saw it really was yesterday. It's the first time I was in it. I had somebody else pick it up with the power of attorney because your employee kept telling me it wasn't a trap and that I was going to meet him at a location where he couldn't give me the address, and then we met in the woods. So, that was just shady. Yeah, that was just too shady for me. So I sent a power of attorney. Because I can get it for you quickly.
Okay. Mr. Dollars.
Yep.
Do me a favor. I'm gonna put you over a second. I'm trying to pull up your information. Unless you got it there for me. I'm gonna have Mr. Dorsey pull up in the system.
Yeah, what do you want? You want the VIN or what?
The barcode number?
The barcode. I don't know about that, but I've got the VIN number.
I'm gonna put you on hold 1 second and I'll get it where I can pull up all the information.
Great, thanks.
Your vehicle that we had, all right?
Yep.
1 second.
Cool. At least he's working. Sorry, visionaries. I know it sucks being on hold, but at least we're on hold together. Isn't that fun? Try to get some answers here, folks. Might as well live stream it so the world knows. Who knows what they'll say? I don't know what they're going to say. But we're live. We're here together. Let's see what they say. I just wonder who's got my X-ray stickers. Who's got the X-ray stickers? I want the vinyl X-ray Vision at YouTube stickers back. Those were cool. What's he going to say? Well, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing about that. Maybe we'll go slow. We'll just ask him what the process is by which they search vehicles. That's how we'll start. And I'll say, do you check under them? And if so, how? I was being helped by Mr. Sutton, I think.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you. We're trying here, people. This is patience. Peaceful patience. Good dog, it's all right. Those pits get out. That cat's going to be pissed, I'll tell you that. Right. Two little sister pit bulls. They're wonderful. I guess they're pretty almost full grown. But, they're great. They're awesome dogs, beautiful dogs. They're pulling up the information, and now they're reading through it. They're like, we did fuck this guy. Oh, crap, we did this too? Oh, crap, we did that?
Mr. Dobbins.
Yep.
Mr. Dorsey is pulling up that information for me.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor? Because I want to try to work this out with you. If you got to file a complaint and you want to file a claim, I'm going to assist you with all of that.
Okay.
Please do me a favor because Mr. Dorsey has several people calling him on your behalf.
Good.
Being rude, disrespectful, using profanity. We don't want to deal with that like that. So can you please, once we're off the phone, let them know to please cease calling him. I'm going to make sure you have all my information and his immediate supervisor, Mr. Thompson's information. That way, any correspondence or communication you all want to
I'm happy to work with you guys, but I can't help what those people do. They're free.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So I have a Dodge Ram 2500.
Yes, sir.
And it was taken via a search warrant, 600 Madison Drive Northwest, back on July 11th.
So it was taken off the street, and then a warrant was filed after that. Yep. And then it came to you guys, I guess.
I went to the first district, and I guess ultimately wound up over here because we released it. Okay, so you're saying that your issue, you didn't come pick up your vehicle, someone else came pick your vehicle for you, correct?
Yeah, we had to meet in Maryland in like a woods, like in the back of an abandoned parking lot.
You had to meet, and you told the car driver to pick the vehicle up for you there?
We had to meet Mr. Dorsey, and he wouldn't give me the address. And yeah, we had to go to. Yeah, it was somewhere just in the back of a woods in Maryland. Right, but they videoed it on site. They had video and live stream, and they took video of it. Yep. Yep.
Can you do me a favor, Mr. Dobbins? Because I'm just going to be part of this whole complaint that you're going to make. Can you send me a recording of the video?
I'll send you. Well, probably not. Maybe. Let me ask my lawyer who I should send it to and what I should do, I guess. But I definitely have lots of video. Yeah, we were live. We were on live stream in front of thousands of people when we got it.
I got the paperwork that you're going to use to make your claim. I want to send that to you. I said to you or your lawyer?
To me.
To you.
Yep.
What's your email address?
Yep, it's the word convoy, CONVOY,
CONVOY.
yes, sir, and then X-ray, XRAY, at gmail.com.
X-ray at Gmail, you think?
That's correct, sir.
Gmail.com. What I'm going to do, I'll mail the form to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and all the information about how you make a claim is going to be on this form. Okay? Now, what we do is go from there, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to get in touch with Mr. Dorsey, the media supervisor, so he can reach out to you.
Okay.
All the communication correspondence can be between you and management.
Yeah,
If you want to file a claim, we'll make sure we assist you with it and try to get to the bottom of whatever complaint you have, okay?
10-4. I've got some items that were stolen. Is it possible to check over there? Okay. I just had some items that were stolen, and I was wondering if the whole thing is videoed. Like, do you guys have video of when you had my truck?
This is the situation. Let me explain to you. We have an impound out here,
Mm-hmm.
and we do have it. It is recorded. However, our impound lot is under construction. We haven't renovated, so your vehicle was more than likely on our temporary lot. And temporary, as we say, the big lot back in the woods, so on and so forth.
I see.
That's why I'm gonna put you in touch with Mr. Thompson, and we have a project manager that's working the whole project of the repavement of the lots and these temporary lots, which is one of them is where your vehicle went to.
Okay.
Now, I'm not, and trust me, Mr. Thompson, I'm not just saying because we've had several issues with break-ins on these temporary lots because they're temporary. We're putting vehicles in places where we don't normally have them. We have a security lot, but while we having our renovations down there on the temporary lot, so it's a very good chance, like you're saying, someone may have broken to the lot and taken your
My stereo amp. Yep. And my vinyl decals. Maybe. They didn't. I'm saving the cash. We'll talk about that later. Once I get him to admit everything else.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in touch with Mr. Thompson, and I'm going to let him know to give you a call. And what we can do is try to get about whatever claim or complaint that you have.
Okay.
So all correspondence will go between yourself and Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson will call you no later than, I say,
Okay.
Because I'm gonna get in touch with him today. He's at the temporary line right now.
I see.
Now, what I'm gonna do in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna get you mine. You have my name, Mr. Sutton, SUTTON.
Mm-hmm.
My direct phone number is 202
Yep.
727
Yep.
7680.
Okay.
727-7680. And again, Mr. Thompson will be in touch with you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. If you don't hear from him by then or you need to reach out to me, you have my number. Feel free to give me a call.
10-4. Can I just ask one more question, sir? And I appreciate you talking to me.
Sure.
Do you guys check underneath a vehicle, and what's the process by which you check underneath a vehicle?
When you say check underneath the vehicle, was there some damage to the undercarriage of the vehicle?
Yeah, all the running boards and like the wheel guard are all ripped up, and they said they were hitting it with a sledgehammer and they couldn't get it to go back. And there's about 8 dents down the side of the door, the driver's side, and it says it looked like they shoved a tow motor or a forklift up against it and then lifted it up because the damage goes all the way down the driver's side, and they're like a bunch of dents to the frame and paint's chipped off and the mirror's busted out and there's grease marks. So it's,
Well, what I want you to do, I think you told me earlier that you made a video, they videoed your vehicle when they recorded for you.
Yep.
The towing company. So take any and all pictures you feel you need to take or any claims you're going to be making about damage to the vehicle, take pictures or do a video. And I assure you that once we go through this management and your claim is made, they'll investigate all of this, okay?
okay. So do you guys use a forklift to pick them up? Do you use any kind of lift to lift the vehicles?
I'm not sure if a forklift was used to move your vehicle. I'm not the supervisor of the family. I'm the supervisor here right now.
Supervisor, right?
No, I'm a supervisor of this show, and he works on the family line. We have an immediate supervisor, Mr. Thompson, who supervises the Flags and family line. He's not here right now. That's why I called you back. But I assure you, and he may even call you today because I have his number.
Right.
But definitely don't let it in tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay, it's probably part of the policy though, right? To search under the vehicle, and then tools or equipment are probably provided for that in case the vehicle's not a certain height.
But that's the reason why I asked you, did you pick it up and somebody pick it up for you? Because when you come to pick up your vehicle, let's say even well it's a vehicle or any type of item, before we release it to the owner, we'll let them inspect it to see if there's any issues.
He didn't do that. He wouldn't even give us paperwork, and he wouldn't give us any kind of badge or ID number. I watched it live on a live feed. I watched it in real time. I was just hundreds of miles away because he kept saying it's not a trap. So that meant it was a trap, and we saw the people in the background in the Lexus and, the officer in the red hat and the shoes and Detective Moore and everybody. So there's just something weird going on. And now a bunch of stuff is damaged and stolen, so I guess you don't have to tell me what the policy is, but
I assure you this. We're going to investigate your complaint to the fullest.
thank you.
And I promise you, if any of your damage, if there's any of your damage is caused by us, or if your vehicle was broken in 2 hours without custody, then yes, you're probably going to be entitled to whatever type of compensation that risk management offers. But we're going to assist you. We're going to try to be as transparent as possible and assist you the best we can. Okay?
10-4.
You have my name, you have my number, and like I said, no later than tomorrow morning, it may be this evening, you're going to be speaking with Mr. Thompson, and we're going to do our best to assist you and make sure that you feel like you got decent service, regardless of what the issue was, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Sutton. I appreciate it.
Take care, sir.
Yes, sir. What do you think of that, visionaries? He wouldn't tell me. He's like, yeah, they searched under vehicles. I'm like, how? He's like, well, I don't know how they did it there. I'm like, but you supervise the whole department. Are you telling me you don't know your own policy? Like, what if I was there on a Honda Accord? How would you look under it? If you couldn't crawl under it, a Honda Accord, how would you would lift the shit up. So like, that's your policy, and you have equipment on site to support your policy. That's my first comment. My second comment is he said that my vehicle was in an unsecured lot. Did he say that? He said some random guy probably broke into it and stole my X-ray vision at YouTube decals. They were all rolled up in a cardboard tube. They just went in that cardboard tube and left the Constitution preamble, but they took the X-ray ones. Maybe it was a trophy. Maybe it was a trophy. And that amp, maybe a random burglar stole the amp, but when you stole my vehicle, you became accountable for it. They definitely shoved a tow motor or a forklift into my vehicle and messed it all up. And everybody saw that on the live stream. And we saw on the live stream how Mr. Dorsey definitely did not have us inspect it, wouldn't even give the vehicle at first. And you heard the guys immediately start to talk about how damaged and ransacked it was. You heard them say that. And I'll have witness statements from Scott and Justin who went and picked it up. And I have all this video as soon as I got possession of the vehicle, right? Video. As soon as Scott had it, he has a video. Justin has a video. So that won't be a problem at all. It won't be a problem at all. Now, the third thing I'd like to mention is he said that Mr. Dorsey was getting so many phone calls and people were chewing his ass so hard that he had to call me. And he's Dorsey's boss's boss. His boss's boss had to call me. And he was like, can you please get your people to stop calling him and chewing his ass? And I was like, no, they're free people. I cannot get them to stop because he screwed me over. And when he was like, trust me, I said, no. All right, we're getting answers. And you know what? If all of you guys hadn't called Dorsey so many times, his boss's boss never would have called me. He would have just blown me off like some other punk, some guy just calling him who doesn't matter. But thanks to the visionaries, you guys called and chewed his ass. And then his boss's boss had to pick up the phone and talk to me. Good job, visionaries. Good job. I can only hope that you're doing the same thing to Lisa Moore, Detective Moore, to her office, and hopefully we can find out which precinct she works out of, and we can just call the precinct and we can talk to them. We do not want to call 911. Do not call 911. That's for emergencies. If someone's having a heart attack or a baby, or if their house is on fire, we want them to be able to get through to 911. But as far as these local precincts and these local numbers and these cell phone numbers go, let them have it. You call these people and you tell them what you think as an American citizen. Is this fair and appropriate and just and righteous and moral and ethical? Or is it sleazy and corrupt and horrible? I'm so glad you visionaries are here. I mean, I'm hot about this. I'm pretty frustrated about this. And I think I'm handling it a lot better than I would have thanks to the people I'm around. So hats off. Lots of respect and love to the Patriots who are taking care of me. They're the finest patriots in the land. They're really the finest patriots in the land. They protected me and clothed me and fed me, and they're teaching me a lot, controlling our frustrations. We're thinking long-term here. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There are going to be lots of different engagements, verbal and whatever, different types of emails, different types of engaging with these groups who we're competing with. And I didn't even want to be competing against DC Metro, but they brought it to me, so now we're going to play, okay, in a peaceful, safe, and nonviolent way. We're going to call you until you come up with some answers. All right, Dorsey, you're going to get called, and I want my amp back, and I want my X-ray vision at YouTube stickers. Why would you only steal those out of a cardboard tube? Like the We the People sticker that has the Constitution preamble, it's still in there. Just all the X-ray ones are gone. And my amp to my sweet sound system is gone. Come on, drivers. I told him how messed up it was. He thought it was a little thing. I was like, no, you messed my stuff up and you stole my stuff. And he's like, well, I don't know. I'll have the guy call you who works there. And I'm like, yeah, but you're in charge. Right? Mr. Sutton, was it? Robert Sutton. He was all right. He seemed okay. 202-727-7680. He seemed cool on the phone. He was polite. Mr. Thompson, we don't know him yet. And then Mr. Dorsey is the shitbag. Dorsey is the absolute sack of trash who refused to identify himself. He was in charge of the lot. He said he was in charge of the vehicle. Now we're finding out the lot was unsecured. A police lot is unsecured. You towed my vehicle to an unsecured lot, and you're saying somebody else broke into it? Maybe. Maybe you're all a bunch of corrupt, filthy, law enforcement officers and supporters who get paid off of their tip. Right? And you want to just, I don't know. I can't even understand or think of why anyone would do that to my truck, what you did. Except maybe it was an accident, or maybe you didn't know better, or maybe you had bad stuff going on in your life, or maybe somebody told you lies. But what would cause somebody? That's like, I mean, I studied, I don't know how much we should say, but you look at that, and that took emotion and energy someone had to really be worked up to throw that much shit everywhere. Instead of just like calmly going through something, like when I cleaned out my truck, I laid down a tarp, and I put blocks of wood on the tarp, and then I took all the items out of my truck and looked at them, and I threw away trash, and I cleaned the other items, did my laundry, stuff like that. I mean, clothes were just thrown everywhere. Collected everything, organized it, cleaned it, right? Repacked it. They could have done that. It would have been an easy process. That took hate and emotion and disgust and like energy to ransack the truck the way they did. To ransack it. They even unscrewed the bed, like the feet on that wood, like the bed I made. They even unscrewed those and just like threw them in there and left them out of place. There was like a half a gallon of gasoline in a gas can. They took that. Now I know gas is expensive, and I'm not going to put that on my list, right? But you took the gasoline too. Doesn't matter. My truck's a diesel, Dorsey. All right, guys, what do you think about this? Put it in the comments. I'll go back and read these comments this afternoon just to try to get a feel for what's going on. But this is crazy, right? Is this not crazy? I've got a list this long about all the shit they broke and stole. And it took you guys, you visionaries, harassing the guy on the phone, calling him and asking for answers to get his boss's boss to call me. That was you visionaries. Good job. Good job, visionaries. You guys are good. And this is crap, right? This is crap. This is our American reality. And if you think it's any different anywhere else, you tell me. But DC sure is corrupt. I've met some people who work with law enforcement out here, and I've known people who work in law enforcement in my life, and there's some great, amazing, wonderful, awesome, respectable people. There are good people who work for our government and with our government. There are good people. All right, we call them white hats. White hats. They're the good guys. Then there are people who are just there for their own comfort, to advance their own positioning, their own wealth, all right, their own image. Those are the black hats. Those are the bad guys. And it's those black hats who are moving against the white hats. It's happening in your business. It's happening in your family. It's happening in your social groups. It's happening in government here in the United States. Good versus evil. Good versus evil. Okay? When I say good, I mean based in Judeo-Christian, right, ethics, based in the ethics, right, that the country is founded on, morality, right? That's what I'm talking about here. And it's not just those two faiths, right? There's a lot we can learn from lots of other faiths. I think that's important to be aware of, right? Especially how to treat each other. I think almost every faith has a saying or has wisdom related to how to treat other people, right? In the Christian faith, it's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Well, would you want this to happen to your truck, Dorsey? Would you want broken mirrors, broken glass, 8 grease marks on the vehicle, 6 dents, bent running boards on both sides, bent wheel guards, the metal all ripped up and mangled and bent, dents on the passenger side, evidence tape everywhere when there's no evidence. There's no doggone evidence, is there? You didn't find any. All right. Cracked dashboard, brand new dashboard, crack. You know what it's like to have your dashboard completely off? You can look down, like into. You don't want it. All right, so my dashboard's completely ripped off. The overhead assembly is completely ripped out and won't go back in. The truck is totaled. The center console is totally busted out. The hinges are broken. There's stains on the seats and upholstery. Smells like a wet dog, right? The interior was completely ransacked. It took hours to clean. The blower motor doesn't function fully. The wiring is all out of place, and the rear window locking mechanism is broken. Would you want that? Would you want your X-ray vision on YouTube vinyl decals for your truck stolen? Would you want your stereo amp stolen? I wouldn't want it. I wonder why they did it to me, and I wonder why they took so much energy, all that hatred. F them. Let's see if this is them. Oh, I don't have my email on this. I can only get phone calls on that. All right. That's where we're at, folks. I just wanted to bring you in. I want to let you know what's going on with me and what I'm working on. I'm trying to get all this stuff squared away with the vehicle. I got my vehicle in the shop right now, so I'm letting that get fixed. I'm working on a couple of projects and then, right back in the game. Today, in fact, I talked to some people who are down in the mall, just trying to keep them motivated, right, and stay in the game that way. I think it's really important to show you guys this. I mean, the warrant The warrant's not even, should I show you? Should I not show you? I guess it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Just cover part of the VIN. But this warrant, like they didn't even complete it. The officer didn't even sign it, saying that this is what they saw. This is supposed to be on this line, and they signed it down here. Didn't do it. So you didn't even do the paperwork. Like you didn't even have a good warrant. You didn't even get the vehicle to where you could get the warrant in a legal or appropriate way because that senior officer in the white shirt crouched down under my vehicle 5 minutes before the dog came up and gave a false positive. So if something happens to me, you guys know what's going on. You know what the issues are. You see me standing up, and this is real. Like this is real. Don't be afraid that this is going to happen to you. They're just trying to get leaders and outspoken people out of the game. This is what our competitors are doing. Along with sending people like the Ant and like the different anarchy people, the bad people who keep coming around trying to cause problems, who we just sort of laugh at and ignore. You know, these are all deliberate efforts from our opposition. You know, we're not bad guys, so they can't like shoot us with pepper balls and gas us because we're like good. We're not breaking laws, and we're like good people. You know, we're not bad guys. So they don't have the moral high ground to come at us with weapons. So they have to try all this like distract, divide, whatever tactics to try to break us up. I think it's out of their unconventional warfare handbook, which you can download online if you just Google it from your buddy's computer. Okay. All right. I hope that's helpful. I love you guys. I hope you're all doing real well. I just wanted to cue you in on what's happening here, let you know about Detective Moore. I'll give you her number again. Her cell phone is 202-270-1886. Again, Detective Elisa or Eliza Moore. She told me that she's a 31-year veteran of the force. She should be so ashamed of herself. I mean, I hope she doesn't have kids. What do you think her kids think of her? What do you think her grandparents think of her? They think she's a piece of shit for taking advantage of good people, for taking advantage of good people who were doing good things, for lying and then searching through and destroying their stuff, right? You're a bad guy, Moore. You're a bad guy. Even though you're a girl, you're a bad guy. Okay? And the visionaries are going to tell you, just like I'm telling you right now, you're just a piece of shit. Okay? Her phone number is 202-270-1886. And just give her my love when you call her. And Mr. Dorsey's phone number, again, Dorsey's phone number is 202-316-3220. You let him have it. Don't call Sutton. He's been cool. This is the first time I talked to him, and he was cool. Now, I know the last time I said that, they didn't stay cool. But I'll just say that. He's been cool so far. Let's not bother Sutton. Let's definitely go after Dorsey, and let's definitely go after Moore on the phone in a peaceful, nonviolent way on the phone to let them know what pieces of shit they are and that the American people won't stand for their corruption and that they should quit. That's what I would tell them. That's what I would tell them. All right. If you want to call DC Metro Police, their complaint division, and if you want to like file a formal complaint, if you've been watching this, if you've seen the hundreds and hundreds of hours of content in DC that have come out, right? I know there's hundreds of thousands of watch hours, so I know people are seeing this. If you want to call them, it's 866-588-0569. Oh, that's right, it's 69. 866-588-0569. And that's how you can file a complaint against Detective Moore and the other DC Metro police officers. I would love to find out who that officer was who crouched under my vehicle. I have his image, but I don't know his name. You know, white guy, white shirt, middle-aged, short hair. I have to go back to the salmon video, and I bet we can just juxtapose them, put them next to each other, and we'll get him. We'll know who he is. All right, call Detective Moore, call Mr. Dorsey, let him know what horrible people they are. Let him know that they should just look in the mirror. Just ask them. Be like, are you a Christian? Or like, what do you believe in? How does that interact with the way that you conducted yourself with the beast? You know, they owe me a lot of money and they owe me a lot of time and can't get the time back. Now, the Marine in me, I was very frustrated. The citizen, the patriot, the Marine in me, the veteran, the volunteer in me was very frustrated. The teacher in me, the EMT in me was very frustrated when I saw my truck and how they treated it. And I'm staying calm. We'll always be peaceful. We'll always be nonviolent. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to use my words to express my high level of frustration at the high levels of corruption in this country. All right. The citizens, we the people, demand better. Stock market's in the toilet. You tell me it's fine. Inflation is through the roof. You tell me it's fine, right? Prices for everything through the roof. Food portions are down, right? Food portions are down, but food prices are up. Okay. Our positioning internationally sucks and is only barely getting better, right? It sucks. Everybody thinks Biden's a fool. They think he's a fool. They think he's a weak fool, right? And Ukraine is to Russia as Taiwan is to China. What if China just took Taiwan? We've got all of our people over there in Ukraine. What would we do? 301. Do we want to try this? Hello? Yes, sir.
This is Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, how are you? Yeah.
I understand you have some concerns.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not in the office right now, but I will be there first thing in the morning.
Okay.
As soon as I can see what's going on. Can you give me a little insight so I know what I'm dealing with in the morning?
Yeah, no worries. I just had a white pickup truck there. They brought it in as evidence to search it. You know, nothing was found in it, but there was a bunch of damage to the vehicle on the outside and the inside, and then some items were stolen as well. And so I was trying to get like an inventory of what y'all think was in there, and I was trying to get a video.
We don't know because we don't even go inside the vehicle. And when it comes from the crime lab, that's how we get it. But
Oh, so they searched the vehicle in the crime lab. That was DC Metro. Then they bring it to you to hold until it's transferred back to the citizen. Is that right?
right.
I got you. So DC Metro was the one who searched this.
Okay.
Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know who searched it. I know when we got it. Okay. Anything that we get, it comes from our crime lab. We don't take it from no other crime lab. It comes from our crime lab.
And when you say our, you mean DC Metro?
Yeah, DC, the district crime lab, right?
The district and not DC Metropolitan Police Department, but
Right,
just
right.
Washington, DC. I see. Okay.
What is missing out of the vehicle?
It's a stereo amp. It's like an aftermarket amp under the seat.
Yeah.
And then the wires were left there. It could have started a fire when I was rolling down the road because they were just exposed wires, you know. And then also some like vinyl decals that have my YouTube channel on it. The vinyl decal with the We the People and the Constitution and all that, that was there. But out of the same tube, my YouTube channel, vinyl stickers that say X-Ray Vision, those were taken. It's like it was that's a low value thing unless it's personal. That's low value unless it's personal. And the stereo could have been anybody. I get that.
Yeah. What happened is, whenever a vehicle comes to the lot, we take pictures all the way around the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay. If we open up the door and we see a bunch of stuff in there, we'll just take pictures of what we don't move stuff around. We just take pictures of what we see. We shut the door back.
10-4.
Before as taking anything out. And see, I can't tell you really what pictures I have until I get to work tomorrow to see what pictures we have.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it got picked up with a tow motor or like a forklift. That's what the auto body guy is saying. Because there's damage under it, linear damage under it, and then there's damage all down the driver's side where it might have slammed into the back of the forks.
On the driver's side?
Yeah, 10-4. The driver's side has like 8 grease marks down it. The mirror's knocked out. And then there's like 6 dents that go all the way down, and there's grease marks on the dents. And paint's all chipped off.
Yeah, I'll take. Do you have pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at my pictures in the morning.
And the running boards are all bent up too. And I mean, they said they were hitting them with a sledgehammer and they couldn't get the metal to bend back. It's strong metal, but it was all ripped up.
Yeah, but see, it was picked up by a forklift. The forklift was hit the undergird before it hit your running boards.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know if they just tipped it on both sides then, leaned it up.
Yeah, that's the purpose of the forklift, for it to hit the body of the vehicle and not the bumper or the rear or the running board. Your running board's got to be down past the frame of your car in order for something like that to happen. But I'll take a look at the pictures in the morning.
10-4.
And is this a good number to call you back at?
This is a good number. Yep.
See what? Okay, anything wrong in my life, we take pictures in this. Okay, we don't take pictures too much of the undercurve. So
Okay.
I can't tell you too much about the undercurve, but the size of the vehicle, this and all that, no, we
Cool. Yeah, you should see it. The mirror will be the big giveaway.
Like, as soon as you, if you don't hear from me by 10 o'clock, you have my number.
I'll call you.
All right, sir?
Thanks a lot, Mr. Thompson. I appreciate it.
All right, for me, inconvenience.
All good. Yeah, have a good day.
Who was you working with on this?
I talked to Dorsey. He was the guy who told me he had the vehicle and I couldn't know where it was. And then he met me in a lot. He kept telling me it's not a trap, so I sent a power of attorney. I sent a firefighter.
We don't want everybody to know where the vehicles are at, and that's why he's being precautious.
I got you.
Okay, so we just want to make sure it's the safety reason, and those vehicles are considered evidence, so we don't want nobody to tamper with the vehicle. So we try to don't tell everybody where we got them at right now.
10-4. Is that location secure or unsecured?
I got 3 armed guards up there with cameras.
So, okay, because Mr. Sutton was saying maybe it wasn't secured and somebody in the area might have been able to sneak in. That it was under construction and that they may or may not have cameras or security there.
No. Where we moved from, we had security and cameras, but all that stuff been taken down now because they relocating. So we had to move the vehicle to another location.
Okay, 10-4.
Okay. All right, what year was your truck?
2001.
2001.
It was a sexy Dodge Ram 2500 with that 8-foot bed and a beautiful white cap on there,
That's the only way for me to buy a truck is an 8-foot bed.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You ain't give me no pickup with no 4-foot bed.
See, you're all right. I appreciate you working with me.
No problem. So, Mr. Dorsey, I want to make sure, do I need to get his ass about anything tomorrow?
I mean, he was horrible to work with. He was really unprofessional. He wouldn't identify himself when we were there. He was just really horrible to work with. And then I called him to get information. And he just played games on the phone instead of providing me with information. And when I said, who can I make a complaint to? He gave me the DC Metro complaint, department. And they said, well, we can't do any investigations into civilians.
Once I got to look at everything.
Yeah.
Then, there's a form that you fill out to do your complaint on.
10-4.
But first, I want to look into it first.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yep.
Not a problem. And I will take you to Mr. Dorsey in the morning because he works for me.
Thank you.
And believe it or not, Mr. Dorsey is one of the best I have. And this is the first complaint that I ever got on Mr. Dorsey.
I think that the people who he was talking to probably influenced him, and he probably went with that influence to try to motivate those people, without having total information. And I think that can happen socially. I don't know, right? I don't know. He may be very, very good at what he does.
He is excellent at what he do, but if you, first we got to do customer service stuff.
10-4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because if you had a complaint that should have still, even though I wasn't there, it should have been brought up to my attention.
10-4. I asked for your information. He refused to pass that on.
No, I will make sure he would never ever do that again.
Cool. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Thompson.
My phone stay on 24/7.
10-4.
Okay.
This guy's good. Yeah, you're good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Talk to you tomorrow. Mr. Thompson was good. You can't fault that gentleman. You can't fault Mr. Thompson. But I don't know if I understood what he said. The first guy said the lot was unsecured. And then he was like, no, I got 3 armed guards there at video cameras. Well, go get my amp. What was interesting is Mr. Thompson, who we just talked to, and if you're getting confused right now, let me help draw it out for you guys. I'll draw it out so you can get the hierarchy, okay? So Sutton is the top guy, and then it goes down to Thompson. Then it goes down to Dorsey. Here's the hierarchy for parking. All right, this is the parking hierarchy. This is the guy who I dealt with. He wouldn't give me his supervisor's name, who was playing the name game with me. He knew what he did to my truck. Wouldn't give me any information, gave me the wrong complaint department. Then you guys called this guy, and you gave him so much shit that this guy called me. This guy called me back. Then this guy rolled some shit downhill to this guy, and this is the guy who I just talked to. They were great. These two were great. This guy was no good. And I understand that if Detective Moore, who's probably up here, and who is her buddy? Sloan, David Sloan. Sloan. If these two, police department or Homeland Security or whatever, they were the ones who came and influenced Dorsey. And that's why Dorsey was a dick to me. All these people shit downhill onto me. Can you guys see that? So Dorsey and Sloan, the police officers came, or excuse me, Moore and Sloan told Dorsey to do all this stuff to me. But now Thompson is saying that it was really the police department that searched the vehicle, and they got the vehicle in that condition. So they passed the whole buck back to the police department and said that it's Moore and Sloan, the police department, who have done this. That's what he said. And he said he's got cameras and 3 armed guards. So somebody saw something. Subpoena. Somebody saw something. So we talked to 1, 2, 3 different DC Metro civilian parking employees, the whole chain of command. And then we also left multiple messages for Detective Moore. We haven't heard back from her yet because she's corrupt, okay, or busy. Sloan, we haven't reached out to yet. And we knew nothing about Sloan until we saw David Sloan's name here on the paperwork. The inventory was made in the presence of David Sloan and Elisa Moore, is what the search warrant says. But then under that, it says, I swear that this is true and detailed account of all property taken by me under this warrant. And nobody signed it or wrote their name or the date. Then it says, subscribed and sworn to me on this date before the judge, and the judge is supposed to sign it. And there's no signature there either. So that makes me think that this never went back to a judge. They never said, yeah, we were wrong. Sorry for wasting your time, getting you out of bed to do this warrant or whatever. It was really bullshit. From a lady who ended up going on every protest in D.C. for the last several months, right? Who you have a file on or who you're paying to do this. That Anarchy Princess lady, wasn't she the one who called and said that I had weapons in my truck? Well, did you investigate her at all? Or did you just take my truck? I was on the street. You were with me. You could have asked me for my keys. And I would have been like, go ahead and look. I would have tossed you my keys and said, have at it. Corruption. Yeah. Corruption is what this is, folks. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it here in life. Now, we're also seeing some good guys, some guys who maybe didn't know anything about this, who start getting all these phone calls. Everybody's going nuts about this, right? Getting on these phone calls. And he's like, what happened? No, that wouldn't happen. I go to work and do my best every day. And it's like, well, bro, I got some videos for you. I got some fucking videos for you, let me tell you. All right, I feel better. Do you guys feel better? I feel better when I get paid on all this. By DC Metro, when I have 2 badges in my hand. I want Moore's badge right here, and I want Dorsey's badge or his ID card right here. I'll put them on the table and just look at them. Just look at them. And I want them peacefully and non-violently. I just want them to quit and mail me their badge in the mail and quit with a letter of apology saying they know how wrong they were. Then I'll feel better. I'll never have to go to DC again. That'll be a great victory for me until I feel that bubbling geyser of patriotism come up inside me again, and I know I have to go and wave my American flag on the mall. There'll be a day for that. But until then, thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for continuing to support the Patriots on the mall. Santa's already, right, already applied for more permits, so we're going to stay. Maybe looking at another location, but still on the mall. I'm not going to say much about that. Really, I don't know a whole lot about it, just a little bit. So you may see some things happen here in the near future, and I love you guys. We're still in the game. When things like this happen to us, normally I probably would have just gone home and gone to sleep and just tried to ignore all of this. Maybe had a Jim Beam and Dr. Pepper, or whatever. But it's too much. It's too much. And we're conservative people, so it's just too much. We can't stand for this anymore. We can't take any more of this. And that's where I'll leave you guys. All right? I'll let you know that I love you. I want you to call these people and let them know. It sounds like it was Detective Elisa or Eliza Moore, Elisa, 202. Here's her phone number. Ready? Detective Moore, Homeland Security Bureau Office of Intelligence, which is about right for intel. She's about as dumb as every other intel officer I've ever met. No disrespect to the white hat ones who are getting my back on this, who actually did good intelligence research and reporting. Good job to you. Those of you who read my emails and all these things. Good for you. All right, but the rest of you intel types, come on. Elisa Moore, detective, 202-270-1886. Answer the phone. Called her twice. She didn't even answer the phone. Tells you what we're working with here. All right. I love you guys. Have a great afternoon. Stand tall for freedom. Always hold the line. And don't give up. Don't be afraid. Don't give up. All right. This is your country. You can make it better through engaging with the different problems in such a way that the problems come to understand that they're problems so you can fix them easier. All right. Stand up for what you believe in, guys. I love you. Have a great day.